that is the frustration for viewers at home, for people at the stadium, for supporters, more importantly for players and for managers, is that, you know, the officials are just coming out with these, they're looking at these and going, and even if people say, even if people are of the opinion, right, well, I think there wasn't enough contact in the ball and blah, 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 then at least then, it's Champions League knockout. Send the fella with a whistle, 30 seconds to the monitor, let him make the decision. Yeah. I mean, it's just absolutely bonkers.
Hummels took to Twitter to express his dismay at that decision. This is what the German defender had to say when that penalty, of course, was given against him in the end. Twitter waits for it. Twitter gets it. What a joke of a penalty against us. Again, I cannot believe there can be decisions like today or against Chelsea or PSG with the VAR. Gab?
Look, I mean, I can understand his frustration and I can understand he feels this way. But if you remember, when VAR was introduced, there was a whole slew of people out there who were against VAR for kind of philosophical reasons, right? So then they came in and they said, oh, let's make it we'll have a high bar, clear and obvious decisions, whatnot. This is not a clear and obvious decision. I mean, this is something where if the referee sees it again, he may change his mind. He may not. And for that reason, VAR doesn't intervene.
So what's the objective of a defender what's the objective of a defender trying to stop a goal-scoring attempt, Gab, in the penalty area? What is the objective? To play the ball or not?
It's obviously to play the ball, Craig. But right. What I'm saying is...
So why is it not clear and obvious?
It's not clear and obvious because whether he played the ball or not, evidently, in the mind of the referee, well, first of all, maybe the referee didn't see him play the ball clearly, and maybe he was duped, right? So then you would say, oh, but then VAR should intervene. But VAR, for their part, say, well, we're not supposed to re-referee games. We're not supposed to go and we're only supposed to intervene if there is a very clear and obvious mistake. Once you put that protocol in, they're going to have this high bar, and you're going to get situations like this one, where the referee says, "Well, I saw it clearly. Did I make a clear and obvious mistake?" And VAR says, "Well, if you look at it, you might change your mind, but then you might not. So, all right, if you think you saw it clearly, sure, live with it." Look, I don't like this. I think this is a typical situation where the referee should look at it again with the benefit of the replays, and then he can either stand by his decisions or not stand by his decisions. But in the protocols of the game, that's not what it says.
One question, Gab, because I'm not clear as to what position you're taking here. Does this mean that you do think it was a penalty, or would you have given it as no penalty?
I think it was a penalty. Sorry, I think it was not a penalty. I think he got the ball. I can also see, though, I'm not standing where the referee's standing on the pitch. I can see how the referee might have legitimately felt that it was a penalty. This is exactly the kind of call
the obvious question is, if every single one of us thinks, if every single one of us thinks it's not a penalty, then surely it's clear and obvious. It's simple. There you are.
Like, I agree with you, but the
problem
is,
what's the problem?
Do you remember? You read the English media going on and on. Oh, we don't want games to last too long. We don't want every decision to be re-refereed. If the referee sees it clearly.
But we've seen so many things that have contradicted that, but this one isn't even one of them.
I don't want every game to be re-refereed, and we've seen that particularly in the Premier League and other leagues, La Liga. In the middle of the park, I've always talked about it. Between the penalty areas, unless somebody behind the ball elbows somebody, does something the referee can't see, I really think they should limit the re-refereeing in those areas, unless it is violent conduct the referee did not see. However, when we get to the defining areas of the field, i.e. the penalty areas, that's where it needs to be re-refereed. When a referee has clearly missed a very important challenge, and I think he thinks Hummels hasn't played the ball, so he's got it wrong. The replay shows that Hummels was well within his rights to go for the challenge and made a decent challenge. That's not re-refereeing the game. That's just cleaning up a mistake.
The goal has got to be, with a big decision like this that could determine who advances and who goes out, above all, to go and get it right. And I agree with you. You don't need to re-referee, rubbish in the middle of the pitch. But this is a really important decision. And if the referee thinks that he didn't get the ball, then by all means, he should go and take another look at it and make up his own mind.
And I don't know, ultimately, because we can get lost in this conversation and go in a cul-de-sac and go in circles.
We've already,
I think we're on there.
Yes,
We're down there.
we're very much there. Let me add to it then. I don't care about thresholds. I don't care about clear and obvious. I don't care about how we want to hide the truth. Isn't the system in place to get the call right? To get the call right. All the other stuff to me is nonsense, and it's just a way to explain away mistakes and to excuse away mistakes. Let's get the call right. And there was a decision to be made here, and they got it wrong.
You can't handle the truth, Ali. That's your problem.
Oh, is that it?
Overall, wait for the penalty decision, Gam. 1-1 sets it up nicely, doesn't it, for the second leg in Germany?
I think it does. I mean, Dortmund with all their foibles this season, maybe starting to click away together. I think they might feel that, they have the upper hand, but they're going to have to do something that very few people have done against, dare I say it, Peter Bosch and PSV Eindhoven, which is to actually go and beat them. That's the only way they're getting through, unless they're taking it to penalties. So I think it's going to be a tall order. Every time I watch PSV play, I'm always struck by how confident this team are. It's like they don't care that the other team might have better players in theory anyway. So I think it's going to be a really, really tall task for Dortmund. And I think it's a typical situation where he's tinkered with his lineup so much, he has to get the combinations right.
Doesn't matter how intriguing this game is, it'll still be the game that's on the corner TV when we watch the games coming in. It's not getting centre stage. Not now, not ever.
Wow, that's
you
harsh.
elitist.
What have I done? I'm not in charge of the TVs. They go where they like.
It has to be Borussia Dortmund, right? They have to be the team that has the responsibility of advancing out of what we consider to be the weakest matchup. Well, the problem with Borussia Dortmund, and let me tell you, I know this wholeheartedly because we cover this team quite a bit with Bundesliga. It's a group that when expectations are put upon them, they usually kind of fall short. So they weren't supposed to make it out of the group of death, and what do? They win the group.
Yeah.
And now all the expectation is on them. You know what? Against PSV, you should be favorites. You should be going through. And now there is unnecessary drama coming back to the second leg. I still think that Borussia Dortmund will be good enough to get past PSV because PSV sets up perfectly for the things that Borussia Dortmund likes to do. And that's for a wide open game, a back and forth game. Dortmund, I think, will be better than PSV in doing that. Dortmund advances.
A number of games, of course, between now and that second leg domestically for both sides. For Borussia Dortmund, they're in action on Sunday in a clash against Hoffenheim that you can see live on ESPN+. Intriguing game on Friday. Bayer Leverkusen against Mainz. What could the lead be then? Could it be 11 points? Is it 8 at the moment?
Yeah. It's 8 at the moment.
So it could be 11 points.
Oh, well worked out.
Yes, that's good math.
There you are. Blooming heck, tough crowd. There you are. Bayer Leverkusen Mars. They could go 11.
Super.
What's 11 in German?
I do not know that.
Oh, come on.
12:30 is the one.
Well, Bayern Munich against Leipzig, obviously, then on the Saturday.
Old Tommy.
Old Tommy.
Old Tommy and his XG.
Could be even worse trouble.